Before embarking on a study of fiction, we might ask a basic question. Why bother to read it? Why should we spend our scarce free time on works of imagination? The eternal answers to this question are two: enjoyment and understanding. Simple enjoyment has always been a primary aim and justification for reading fiction. A story with serious artistic intentions, on the other hand, must yield not only enjoyment, but also understanding. Like all serious art, fiction of this latter kind provides an imagined experience that yields authentic insights into some significant aspect of life. Art is a lie, Picasso said, that leads to the truth. And since a short story is a form of fiction, and thus a kind of lie, this statement perfectly sums up the type of story that provides entertainment, but also may become part of an enduring literature. We should begin by defining two broad classifications, employing the terms most often used today: commercial fiction, the kind intended solely to entertain, and literary fiction, which is the primary focus of this channel. Commercial fiction, such as the legal thrillers and romance novels that make a bestseller list, and the easy-to-read short stories that appear in mass-market magazines, is written and published primarily to make money, and it makes money because it helps large numbers of people escape the tedium and stress of their lives. Literary fiction, however, is written by someone with serious artistic intentions, who hopes to broaden, deepen, and sharpen the reader's awareness of life. Commercial fiction takes us away from the real world. It helps us temporarily to forget our troubles. Literary fiction plunges us, through the author's imaginative vision and artistic ability, more deeply into the real world, enabling us to understand life's difficulties and to empathize with others. Commercial fiction has the reader's immediate pleasure as its object, but literary fiction hopes to provide a complex, lasting, aesthetic, and intellectual pleasure, rather than a simple escapist diversion. Its object is to offer pleasure plus understanding. We should immediately make the point that these two categories of fiction are not clear-cut. Not every given story can simply be tossed into one of two bins marked commercial or literary. Rather, the two categories suggest opposite ends of a spectrum. Some works may fall close to the middle rather than to one end, and genres normally associated with commercial purposes and categories are sometimes used successfully by authors with literary intentions. Perhaps we can clarify the differences by analogy. Commercial writers are like inventors who devise a contrivance for our diversion. When we push a button, lights flash, bells ring, and cardboard figures move jerkily across a painted horizon. Such writers are full of tricks and surprises. They pulled rabbits out of hats, saw beautiful women in two, and juggled brightly colored balls in the air. By contrast, literary writers are more like explorers. They take us into the midst of life and say, "Look, here is the world in all its complexity." They also take us behind the scenes, where they show us the props and mirrors and seek to dispel the illusions. In short, any fiction that illuminates some aspect of human life or behavior with genuine originality and power may be called literary. Such a story presents an insight, whether large or small, into the nature and condition of our existence. It gives us a keener awareness of our humanity within a universe that is sometimes friendly, sometimes hostile. It helps us to understand our world, our neighbors, and ourselves. We also bring different expectations to our reading of these two different types of fiction. When we pick up a commercial novel, we come to the book with specific fixed expectations and will feel frustrated and disappointed unless those expectations are met. Depending on the genre, some of these expectations may include a sympathetic hero or heroine, someone with whom the reader can identify and whose adventures and triumphs the reader can share. A defined plot in which something exciting is always happening, and in which there is a strong element of suspense. Thus, the term page-turner often applied to a successful commercial novel. A happy ending that sends the reader away undisturbed and optimistic about life. A general theme or message that affirms widely held conventional views of the world. By contrast, when we come to a novel or story with literary intentions, we approach the work with a different set of expectations. For one thing, we are willing to expect the unexpected. Instead of adopting a conventional way of storytelling, a literary author may create a unique style or angle of vision to express his or her artistic truth. And instead of a happy or conventional ending in which everything is tied together in a neat package, a literary work may end in an unsettling or even unresolved way, forcing us to examine our own expectations about the story itself, about the way the story is told, and about our ingrained, perhaps unconscious way of viewing a certain topic or idea that may have been challenged or changed by what we have read. In short, when reading literary fiction, we must keep an open mind and stay receptive to the author's imaginative vision, however different it may be from our own habits of perceiving and reading the world.
Akademi.